Hello, dear Koval. Are you
Hello.
here?
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, please come to the camera. Yes. Ah, wow.
Good evening.
Oh, good.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
hello. You
everyone.
ready?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, dear participants, today we have with us Mr. Oleksandr Koval. He is the fine expert of marketing and the ethnic products, particularly in the Carpathian mountains of Ukraine. So he is also a lecturer at the university, which is called Uzhgorod National University. Um, so he is representing the tourism department in that particular university. He is a very grounded expert and having long experience of implementing the projects, studying the projects academically, and also associated with lot many groups, producing the local products, especially the agri products in the Carpathian area. Particularly, I'm very fascinated by his fine understanding and expertise about the pastoral communities. In Carpathian areas, actually, there is ethnic group called Hutsul, and Hutsul basically are the communities found not only in Ukraine but also across borders like in Poland and Romania as well as Slovakia. So with us we have very seasoned and very fine expert of this topic of today, how the products of the pastoral people can be linked with the market, and what could be the better ways. So we will understand and we will have an enlightenment from his own experiences. So with him, you can see a beautiful face of his wife, who is Lyudmila Koval. She is also the director of her organization called Carpathian Way. Both of them have this organization, and she is very good expert of these communities and the rural people. So the organization of this today's lecture will be like Mr. Koval Oleksandr has prepared this and done academically all this preparatory work. Uh, but because he is unable to speak in English, therefore Lyudmila will help him by presenting in English, because if we do like he speaks in Ukrainian first and then she translates, so we will require a very long time for this process. So what we can do alternatively is that she will present in English, because the slides they have prepared are in English. So she will explain everything in English, and then on each slide or whenever Mr. Koval will like to intervene or like to add something or like to narrate, so he will speak in Ukrainian, and then she will again translate. So this may be the arrangement, but again, it is up to them how they organize. So also a flexibility. So we cannot impose on them, but this could be the appropriate way of doing it. So just to save the time, and because their lecture is also quite long, very long. So because they have to explain everything in detail, and so that you people really understand the things. So thank you so much from my side, and I welcome you to this forum. And please take over. You can share your slide, and then you can go on, or you want to speak, whatever. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. So nice meeting you. Do you see our screen? Yes. Just you
Yeah.
can put plus. Yeah. Okay.
You make it. You please make it in presentation mode. Just click the presentation mode on the bottom.
Презентації постав його в режимі презентації. Okay, just presentation.
There will be a button on the bottom and also
Presentation mode.
just on the bottom where, yes, this one.
This one, yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for this introduction. We are
No,
happy to.
please click this double.
Yes. Yeah. Do you see it? Do you see it?
No.
No, you don't see it. Okay. Stop sharing the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see it? Yeah.
Oh yes, it can work. But
yeah, does it work now? Yes.
No, but that you have to you click this button on the bottom, which shows the presentation mode here. Yes, this one. Click this, press this. No, then some problem in the file or some computer problem. Oh, somebody is suggesting F5.
F5.
You press F5.
Experience in agricultural marketing, tourism, and scientific activities. I am engaged in the implementation of innovative approaches for the sustainable development.
Nothing. Выключи. Okay, and now turn. No. Okay.
Or you
some
can
technical problems.
Okay, you can stop sharing and you can
yes.
do again. Yes, please.
Okay, try again. Try share screen. We are trying again. Okay, we just share the screen with the presentation. Please be patient. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. We are trying again. Does it work? Do you see it?
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. It started working. Great. What about the second slide? Do you see it?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, okay. Yes, good.
Yes, everything is fine. So thank you for an introductory part, Hasrat. Yeah, you see, this is the first slide about Oleksandr Koval, Ukraine. And he's from the Carpathian region. It is the western region of our country, and it borders on Slovakia. So the topic of the presentation today is called Traditions and Marketing, how cultural practices shape the brand of pastoral communities. And we are ready to start. So we are on the same wavelengths. I understand your work, challenges, values, and traditions. Yeah, and daily work, and I understand how important it is to preserve what is passed down through generations. Today, I want to address you, those who care about the land, animals, and nature, to those who know the value of every day in the meadow, every step in the pasture. Have you ever thought that your work could become the basis for a big brand and could interest not only locals, but also people from other continents? And not only interest, but also bring income. I would like to share how we can make your traditions not just a part of your life, but a part of a great story that people around the world will want to hear. Do you know how your work differs from many other people? Because you work with nature, with its reasons, and with its gifts. You maintain a connection with the land, with those traditions that preserve authenticity and value. And this is not just important for you, it's essential for the whole world. People are looking for something genuine, unique, and authentic. And your work can become that uniqueness that the modern consumer is looking for nowadays. You probably know very well that every piece of sheep milk cheese in our country is called brinza, and this word is used in Eastern Europe as well. And every sip of milk and every drop of sweat spent on caring for your sheep is not just a product. This is your daily work of 10, 15 hours, dozens of kilometers of working behind the flocks, working with animals, protecting and caring for them. All these are a part of your soul. And I would like you to understand, this is precisely the principal value that can and should be shown to the world. And this is where marketing comes to the rescue. Of course, marketing may seem complicated or even strange somehow, but in reality, it's just a way to tell your story, to get your work recognized not only locally, but internationally. Marketing helps you showcase your unique products to people who may have never been to your alpine meadows, but who want to experience the warmth and soulfulness that you bring through your work. And it's not just about selling. It's about ensuring every product and tradition has its place in people's hearts worldwide. We are talking about sustainable development and the cultural value of traditions. And I'm sure you're already a part of this movement. After all, it's your traditions that maintain the ecological balance, preserve cultural heritage, and allow people to feel a connection with nature again. And this, without a doubt, is an integral part of the sustainable development of our world. And I would like to highlight key components of our lecture. Every tradition has value. Marketing is not about changing your essence, and the market is ready for uniqueness. If we look at the first point, every tradition has value, and your work has enormous potential to become the basis of a brand that will draw attention to the authenticity of your products. Let's consider the second point about marketing, that it's not a tool that helps share your values and tell the world your story. And the third point is really important because
I'm sorry to intervene. Is your slide moving or you are not moving?
No, it's not moving. It's
Okay,
still here.
Thank you.
Yes, now it will be moving.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. Thank you.
It's okay. So that the market is ready for uniqueness because modern people want authentic, sustainable, and responsible products. And you can give them just that. Yes. And now we would like to talk about why marketing is important even for shepherds. We see here a few points. Yeah. So there is a common belief that marketing, it's not for us. But marketing equals and means that you can show the world who you are. Pastures, meadows, this is your brand. And the key question here is, do you want your work to be known not only in the pasture, but also in the world, in different countries, among different people? Okay. Then there is another question, about our topic. Can a pasture become a brand? Pastures, mountains, and meadows means a legend that needs to be told. And for our visitors, it's a fairy tale, but for you working in the field, is a tradition. And we consider the value of dairy products made of local milk because it has geographical origin and it brings us emotion and experience of authenticity. And we refer here to the question, how does marketing help? It might be helpful because it can emphasize uniqueness, it can enhance value of your product, it can help us set goals, and of course, it can help us increase profitability. And then the next question, what makes your product unique? Yeah, you work with animals, cheese, meat, and the final goal, of course, is higher incomes. Yeah, this brand was mentioned by Hasrat, Hutulship Brenza. It is made in the Ukrainian Carpathians, and it has geographical origin and 500-year tradition. And recently it has received the certification, and this certification confirms the authenticity of the product. And partnerships are really important because this product made of sheep milk is included in restaurant menus and with the name of the producers. And another partnership deals with tourist groups. We'll be talking about it a bit later. And tourist routes, they go through landscapes of mountain valleys, alpine meadows, where you can enjoy beautiful flocks of sheep. And then tasting on alpine meadows and presentations in museums and workshops where tourists can experience how to make different crafts, and they can also bring something with their hands. Handmade, yeah. And now we refer to the first question about uniqueness and as a basis for marketing. And we see the question here, yeah? What makes pastoral communities unique? So why do they attract the attention of people who want to escape the noise of the city and touch the authentic way of life? Why are they willing to travel tens, hundreds, or thousands of kilometers? The uniqueness of such communities is a multifaceted phenomenon encompassing people, products, nature, culture, and much more. And let's look at all these points in more details. So the first point is about traditional products. Yeah. So pastoral communities have long been known for their products that not only feed, but also tell stories. So we can see the milk and dairy products. Imagine here a cheese made by hand according to ancient recipes that have been handed down through generations. And it's not just food, it's a way of life imprinted in every bite. Meat. The quality of meat from animals raised in natural conditions is incomparable to mass production. It's authenticity that gourmet appreciate. And I think like common tourists will also appreciate the taste of such type of meat. Woolen clothing, for example, hand spinning, knitting, making blankets or warm sweaters, they are a product and embodiment of traditional craftsmanship. The second point is a landscape, nature, animals, and of course, a place that enchants. Each pastoral community is unique due to its natural surroundings and geographical location. Pastures, mountains and slopes, meadows, green valleys, these landscapes attract the eye and also create a unique microclimate for farming. And of course, how beautiful the sunrise and the sunset is. Animals. If we look at a flock of sheep, goats, cows, horses, and buffaloes, it's not just part of a farm. It's a living heritage that symbolizes patience and connection with nature. We can see the seasonality. Have you ever felt the dawn in the mountains full of fresh air and the aroma of herbs. And there is something magical in every season of pastoral life. The third point, culture is the roots that keep the soul of the community. And culture is exactly what makes these communities alive and makes others talk about them. And here we consider museums and antiques. Often in villages, there are small museums where you can see shepherds' tools, old clothes, and other tools. Images and stories. Have you seen drawings or photos that convey the beauty of shepherds' lives? They remind us of the connection between man and nature. Songs, music, legends. Yeah, the sound of a musical instrument like drimba, you might have seen it. Yeah, it's a kind of mouse musical instrument. Trombeta, it is considered the biggest musical instrument in our region. Or, for example, the shepherd's song, stories about adventures in the mountains that are passed down through generations. All these are the part of the cultural DNA. And the fourth point is about uniqueness. What else? Let's look at deep uniqueness. Here we can see the mentality, gastronomic traditions, and crafts. Shepherds are people who embody resilience, endurance, and harmony with nature. Their worldwide is different from the urban myth. If we talk about gastronomic traditions here, how often do we underestimate the simple but delicious dishes that arise from the need to use what nature gave us? And of course, crafts. From wood carving to creating unique jewelry, this is another form of self-expression in pastoral communities. So, and let's ask ourselves, yeah, do you have the questions? Have you noticed how these elements intertwine, creating something more than just a set of traditions? How can we make tourists see and feel this uniqueness? Can we preserve these traditions and pass them on to future generations? And we should remember, uniqueness is a resource for tourism development and a basis for pride. And here we have, yeah. So next we'll be talking about uniqueness as a basis for marketing. How we experience value. And you see here the points. The guest first glance, the first touch to a legend, taste and touch of traditions, and hands that make history. If we look at the first point, yeah, stop for a moment and try to look at your world through different eyes. What is commonplace for us can be a life-changing moment for others. Imagine a guest who sets foot on our land for the first time. What does he see? What does he think? And now think about how you perceive it yourself every day. And the guest's first glance, what is it? The guest looks at the green expanse of the mountains where the flock peacefully grazes in a meadow or pasture. He sees not just nature, he sees freedom and silence and feels how the tension of this usual city life subsides. His attention is attracted by a shepherd in a traditional clothes, playing musical instrument. For our guests, it is magic, something from another world. And how do you, the bearers of this culture, see it? It is your field of work where every day is similar to the previous one. For you, a musical instrument is just an instrument that can both give a signal and continue the tradition. Sometimes you even forget that its sound can move you to tears. So the second point here is the first touch to a legend. A guest hears a legend about a mountain where, for example, shepherds used to hide their flocks from bad weather, or a story about a dog that saved its flock from predators. For them, it is more than words. This is a fairy tale that comes to life in their imagination, awakens dreams, and inspires them. If we look at taste and touch of traditions, we see a guest tasting cheese made by your hands and feeling in it not only the taste of milk, but also the taste of your work, love, and time. For our guest, this product is a discovery, a new experience, a key moment that will remain in his memory forever. Respect for the profession and the master who made it. And how do you perceive it? How do you see it? For you, it is just a product that you make every day. But remember, you work 10, 15 hours a day. But stop and think. Wouldn't you feel proud if you knew that your cheese is a whole story that the guest fell in love with? And then our final point, hands that make history. A guest touches an old wooden cabinet or a woolen blanket made by the hands of your ancestors. He feels the warmth of the past, a connection with the people who lived here centuries ago. For him, it is something sacred that connects him to something greater. And for you, these are just things passed down as an inheritance. But have you ever thought that each of them is a piece of history you preserve? It is a voice and emotion that can tell a lot. And I have a question for you, just to think it over. There are a few questions, and I will read them step by step. As you, as bearers of tradition, you can ask yourselves, so can you see your daily work as something that can amaze and enchant others? Have you ever thought about how your legend or song awakens emotions? How can you help guests experience your world in a way that they will never forget? How do you yourself feel when you see others appreciate what is familiar to you? What can you tell them about it? When, where, and how? These are important questions for yourself and for your business, and the importance of an outsider's perspective. In fact, your world is an incredible value that has been formed over centuries, even millennia, but daily routine often obscures this beauty. So, let's learn together to see ourselves through the eyes of a guest. This is the key to ensuring that your work and traditions are not only preserved, but also properly appreciated. We will discuss how to turn this uniqueness into your main advantage in marketing. So, are you ready for this? And we have another question. How to transform uniqueness into a product? So, and here you see the points we'll be covering through this part. We have already understood that our uniqueness is not just a story or a tradition. It is a living force that can transform the ordinary into extraordinary, if properly understood and presented. So, how to do it? How do we transform our daily practices, products, legends, and crafts into something that will become desirable for tourists and will benefit us, the bearers of this tradition? The transformation will help us. And there are 5 steps which are helpful for transforming uniqueness into a product. Let's look at the first one, analysis of uniqueness. Let's start with what we have. Consider your land, traditions, crafts, animals, plants, and rituals. Which elements can become the basis for creating something that will attract a tourist? It can even be a simple thing you usually do not notice, but it has great potential. The second one is creating value. Now that we know what makes us unique, we must create value. For example, it's not only fried meat, but meat from the animals living on fertile land, where shepherds treat nature and animals with care. The taste, smell, and atmosphere should be important for guests. All these create an emotional impression. The third point is design and presentation. It's necessary to present in a way that makes it more than just a product. And then this is a place where marketing comes into play. Packaging, presentation, and a story, of course. These can be special tasting tours, workshops on making traditional products, or even creating souvenirs that tell the story of your culture. The fourth aspect is also really important because it touches emotions. Let's remember them. A product becomes truly valuable when it evokes a feeling of joy, delight, and inspiration in a person. Your traditions, your work, your products, all this should be conveyed through the emotional part. How does our guests feel when they receive a product or a service? How does it change their perception of the world? And the fifth point is community involvement. Our culture cannot be personal, it goes without saying. It is a collective effort. When we develop products based on traditions, the entire community must be involved, from the production to the tours. Every element matters, and it is through community involvement that we can achieve maximum authenticity and harmony. And here we see examples of products of pastoral communities. These are some examples, and the list can be endless. So let's have a look. Milk and dairy products, cheese, meat, woolen products, fur products, baskets and wickerwork. Trombetta is a kind of musical instrument and other musical instruments. Traditional knives and tools, rural toys and souvenirs, legends and folk tales, and then workshops on making bread or squeezing apple juice, traditional carpets and bedspreads, farm and zoo tours, nutritious herbs and medical plants, wine and honey, eco-tours, picnics, craft courses, tour of traditional settlements, other traditional rituals, and celebration. And you see the word others. You can add to this list more and more activities, and you can come up with other ideas. So now we look into how marketing helps promote traditions. And the question here is marketing basics for pastoral communities. What is marketing and why is it important? And we'll discuss marketing's connection with pastoral communities. So it goes without saying that marketing is an important tool that can help your traditions and products find their customer and consumer. Marketing is not just about advertising or sales. It is a deep process that allows you to create a connection between what you do and what your consumers look for, or they are looking for at the moment. Whatever your traditions or products are, marketing can be that important bridge between you and people who want to learn more, see, and try your unique things. So, what is marketing and why is it important? Let's have a look. This means that you are not just selling a product, but you are looking for what your consumer needs and your customers need. What does he want from your traditions? What emotional satisfaction will they get when they buy your product? By asking these questions, you can create a connection with people based not only on the product, but also on emotions, memories, and stories. Marketing is about creating value for the customer. Why is it so? For your product to be in demand, it must be valuable. Your product is not just milk, cheese, or wool, it's a piece of history, a piece of the lives of the people who create it. And marketing allows you to convey this value to those looking for something more than just a product. Marketing is a way of connecting with your customers. It's not just about selling, but also about communicating, establishing contacts, and telling stories about your traditions. Customers want to feel that they are not just buying a product, but also gaining access to something real, something unique, transmitted through your hands, your experience, and your land. And then we will talk about marketing's connection with pastoral communities. In these communities, some traditions have been preserved for generations. But for these traditions to become accessible to a wide range of people, they must be presented correctly. And here marketing can help. After all, it is marketing that allows you, shows the uniqueness of your products, create an emotional connection. And for example, cheese or wool from your pastures are not just products. They are the result of many years of work. They are traditions that have been formed over centuries. Thanks to marketing, you can convey this uniqueness to each customer. How to create an emotional connection? So, marketing helps to make this connection deeper. After all, customers buy not just the product, but an experience, stories that live together with the product. And the next point is about the concept of marketing pastoral products. When we talk about marketing pastoral products, it's crucial to understand how to organize the entire process to be effective and valuable. You might have come across the classic 4P marketing concept, but here we see a 7P marketing concept. They are product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical evidence. So the first point is product. And here we mean not only the physical product, but also the whole story behind it. For example, milk from a cow grazed on hilly meadows. Let's think of Switzerland, for example, the grandeur of the mountains, the richness of natural colors, their cows, and of course Swiss cheese, or cheese that is made according to an ancient recipe. A product is not just what you sell. Again, it's an idea, a story, a tradition. Point number 2 is price. How do you price your products? Do you take into account that this product contains thousands of years of tradition? The price should reflect not only the costs of production, but also the value that you give to your customers. Point number 3 is place. Where can your product be purchased? Do you have unique points of sale or the opportunity to organize tours to your community where customers can see how these products are made? Point number 4, promotion. How do you talk about your product? It is important to convey to the client that they are receiving not just a product, but a part of your tradition. These can be stories, videos, workshops, anything that will help convey emotion. Point number 5, people. Who creates these products? People who bear traditions should be part of your marketing. Customers want to get to know you and learn your story. Point number 6, process. How do you produce your products? It is important that this process is clear and accessible to your customer. For example, you can organize workshops or open farms where customers can see everything with their own eyes. And point number 7, physical evidence. Yeah, these are all things that confirm the quality and authenticity of your product. Packaging, quality certificates, geographical indications, branding, all these things build trust in your product. For example, the label can indicate the origin of the product, describe the traditional production process, or even the history of the family farm. Physical evidence helps customers feel a connection with the product and understand its uniqueness. And now we move on to our next slide, yeah? So, marketing tools, yeah? Tools for promoting products, services, and territories of pastoral communities. So here we'll be talking about social networks, videos, video stories, partnerships with tour operators and tour guides, and other marketing tools. Yeah. So let's understand what marketing tools are and how they can help promote the tradition of pastoral communities. Yeah. And they are different means we use to make people learn more about our products, become interested in them, and want to buy them. Simply put, they are like tools in a box that help us accomplish important tasks. They can be any methods, platforms, or resources we use to advertise, connect with people, and promote products. And let's look at some of these tools now. And the first tool is social networks. And these tools are known to everyone, I hope so. Yeah. And you see here Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You may use other tools which are helpful. And these tools are used as platforms for showcasing traditions. And they are a great way to showcase unique traditions and products created in pastoral communities. Imagine, for example, you have a page on one of the social networks where you publish daily stories, photos, and videos about the life of shepherds, the production of products, the process of animal care, or rural workshops. This allows people worldwide to see how you work, what you live for, and why your traditions are unique. And for example, on Instagram, you publish photos of cheese making, where you can see the process and the faces of the people who make this product with love and care. Each photo is accompanied by a story about how this product is passed down through generations and how important this tradition is for the community. Thus, you sell the product and tell its story and show the emotions and efforts of the people who create it. So the second point is about video stories. They are also a powerful tool for creating an emotional connection with your audience. People love watching videos, especially if they tell engaging, heartfelt, and emotional stories. Videos can tell about the process of making a product and about the people themselves, their traditions, customs, and even their daily lives and struggles to preserve their culture. For example, a YouTube or Facebook video where a shepherd talks about he raises sheep, the challenges of grazing, and how it relates to local traditions. You could make a video where a shepherd shows how to herd sheep outdoors, make traditional cheese, or recreate ancient crafts. This gives viewers a taste of rural life and allows them to try out their roles while visiting your farm. And partnerships. We have mentioned it before at the beginning of our lecture. Partnerships with tour operators and guides is also a helpful marketing tool if your product or service interests tourists. Cooperation with agencies or tour guides will help you convey this value to even more people. For example, you can partner with a local tour operator that organizes gastronomic tours to mountain villages. During this tour, tourists can see how shepherds work, visit a farm, taste local cheeses and honey, and participate in workshops on making traditional wool or fur products. It will not be a treat, but it is also a real journey back in time to ancient traditions. And point number 4, other marketing tools. What else can you use? So you can use blog and content marketing. For example, create a blog to share interesting articles about traditions, shepherd stories, recipes, or tips on marketing products. People love reading stories that can discover new ideas for traveling or shopping. As an example, articles can talk about beneficial properties of products, how they are made, and why they are important for health. Such materials can be published on the website or on social networks. Another point is about events and festivals. Holding local festivals or events where you can present products. And these can be fairs, cheese or honey festivals, or workshops on traditional crafts. As an example, I would like to demonstrate an annual festival, Traditions of the Carpathians, with tastings, workshops, live performances, and excursions to the pastures. This attracts the attention of not only locals, but also tourists. So we should also consider promotions and discounts. For example, organizing promotions where people can get discounts on products or service packages can be beneficial during holidays or seasonal changes. As an example, we can describe a discount on the gastronomic tour of the Carpathians package during the winter holidays, where tourists can try all the traditional dishes prepared on the farm. Each of these tools can be used to create an emotional connection between your products and potential customers. And your task is to convey to them not only information about the product, but also the emotions, stories, and values associated with it. With the help of these and other tools, you can make traditions alive, relevant, and attractive to a broad audience. And then success stories. Do we have a slide here? Yes. We'll be looking at photos of success stories. You see 3 pictures. There are 3 pictures. The first one is taken in Italy, the second one is in Ukraine, and the third one is in New Zealand. So let's have a look at the first picture. So, and discuss how communities in different countries have turned their traditions into brands. Pastoral communities in different countries have a rich experience in using their traditions to create unique brands that attract tourists and contribute to developing local economies. So, the first picture shows products and tourism based on rural community traditions. It is called transhumanza, and a transhumanza is the practice of transhumanza is not only a message of famine, but also a vital part of the cultural identity in regions such as Abruzzo, Molise, and Puglia. Ancient shepherd paths, tratturi, have become the foundation for developing eco and gastrotourism, products made using traditional methods. And these products are cheese, cured meats, honey, and they are associated with authenticity, quality, and heritage. Festivals celebrating transhumanza attract tourists, offering them the chance to witness the seasonal movement of herds, taste local delicacies, and learn about the region's unique traditions. In the second picture, you see a photo taken at the altitude of 700 meters above the sea level in the valleys. And this is the beginning of the process how Hutzul cheese is made. Yeah, so Hutzul cheese brinza is a traditional cheese made from sheep milk. And this tradition has a 500-year history of production. In 2019, this cheese received the status of a protected geographical indication, PGI, or you might have heard this abbreviation GI, which allows you to protect the unique traditions of making the product and emphasize its uniqueness. Cheese producers actively use marketing through stories about the cheese-making process, which are passed down through generations. They organize tours of mountain pastures and farms, where visitors can see the cheese-making process, as well as take part in workshops and tastings. And the third photo represents an example from New Zealand, pastoral traditions and organic farming. And we know that New Zealand is a country where pastoral traditions and agriculture are the main components of the economy, as well as a significant part of the cultural identity. So New Zealand is known worldwide for its dairy products, particularly milk and cheese, as well as high-quality lamb. The country actively uses its pastoral traditions to create brands. For example, the products of companies such as Fonterra have become synonyms with quality and naturalness. An essential part of their marketing strategy is to emphasize the connection with nature and the purity of the region. Also, New Zealand actively supports and promotes organic farming and sustainable development, which makes local products even more attractive to international consumers. And these examples demonstrate how pastoral communities worldwide use their traditions to create thriving brands. Local products' uniqueness, history, and connection with nature are integral to modern marketing. Thanks to the right approach to promotion, these communities can attract tourists, consumers, and investments, which ensures sustainable development and preservation of cultural heritage. And here we see the photos that confirm history, tradition, and culture. In the upper row, you see old photos, and in the lower row, you see photos which reflect modern days and the lifestyle of modern shepherds. Yeah, you see they look similar, but yeah, the traditions have more than 500-year history. And this is an example of one video. It was made in Zakarpattia. It is one of the smallest regions in Ukraine. As you know, a blogger, Anton Ptushkin, made a video under the title Carpathians Without Words. And you see him in the meadows. And it was made in August 2023. And you see the numbers that this video had 3.7 million views and 256,000 reactions. Yeah, and the task here, how we can be noticed and recommended. You know these labels and logos. So how can we get into their list and how can we be recommended by all these organizations and famous tour operators and travel agencies? You know, Traveler, Lonely Planet, Expedia, TripAdvisor, Google Trips, Euronews Travel, and BBC Travel. So now we move to the part about the brand, how we form the brand of pastoral communities. And here we will cover the following points. What is a brand? Logo versus brand, identifying key brand elements, and developing a name and slogan that reflects traditions. So what is a brand? A brand is not only the name of your product or community, it is the impressions, emotions, and associations that arise when people think about your product or community. And there are a few simple definitions. A brand is the face of your community. When people hear about your dairy products, cheese, or meat, they should immediately think about the quality, naturalness, and traditions you convey. For example, when we talk about pure milk of the Carpathians, it's no longer just milk. It is a whole story about traditions, naturalness, and real rural life. A brand is a promise. It's a promise that your product will always be high quality and natural, the way you promise. For example, the brand Hutsul Sheep Brinza can promise the best quality thanks to natural ingredients produced in the traditional way. A brand is a unique identity. This is how you are perceived in the market and what makes you unique among other producers. For example, the territory of 4 regions in Ukraine from the Carpathians were product producers united and created the brand Taste of the Ukrainian Carpathians as an association with traditions and rural flavor. So point number 2, logo versus brand. Let's analyze the difference between them. A logo is a visual symbol you use to identify your brand. It can be a picture, a font, or a combination of both. For example, a logo can be an image or of a mountain or a cow a symbol of your area or product. A logo is an image that helps people easily recognize you. Another important element of a brand is a corporate identity. It is a set of elements you use to create a single image. Corporate identity includes colors, fonts, communication style, photos. That is, everything that helps create a unique image of a community or product. Point number 3 is about identifying key brand elements. For each brand, it's important to choose the correct symbols, colors, and define its values. Symbols. So these can be images that are associated with a community or area. For example, a mountain symbolizes strength, nature, and purity, reflecting your traditions in a mountainous region. A cow or sheep symbolizes rural life, cattle breeding, and natural products. Colors. They should reflect emotions associated with a product or community. For example, green is the color of nature, ecological purity, and naturalness. Brown symbolizes the earth, rural life, and natural products. White is a symbol of the purity and freshness of dairy products. Values. Brand values are what you want to convey to people through your product or your community. And these can be values such as naturalness, traditions, environmental friendliness, and developing a name and slogan that reflect traditions. The key elements of brand formation are the name and slogan. These words will help people understand what you offer and why they should choose your product. The name. It should be simple, easy to remember, and reflect the uniqueness of your brand. For example, Carpathian Valleys, for a brand that produces cheese or dairy products in mountainous areas. Taste of Mountains, for example, for a brand that specializes in products made from natural ingredients from mountainous areas. Slogan is a short phrase that emphasizes the main idea of your brand. It should be easy to remember and, for example, traditions from the heart of the Carpathians. It is suitable for a brand that produces products using ancient methods. So, creating a brand is a process that combines creativity, emotions, and a deep understanding of the traditions of your community. And communities that have managed to preserve their traditions and unite them into a strong brand have great potential for development and success. So, let's work on creating brands that will not only sell products, but also convey the emotions, culture, and traditions of your community. So, and how to build a visual identity. So here we'll cover the following points you see. What is visual identity? Logo, photos, packaging design, visual elements. And the final point is about important aspects for a visual identity. And this stage is really important because the visual elements of the brand, logo, photos, packaging design, help your customers understand why they should choose your product and what makes it unique. So, what is visual identity? It is the set of elements that helps your community or brand look unified and recognizable. It is how you want your products to be perceived in the market. After all, first impressions matter. A person who sees your product or logo should immediately understand who you are, what you represent, and why you can be trusted. All these elements together make up the visual story you want to tell your customers. Logo is the heart of your visual identity, and it is perhaps the most important element of your brand's visual identity. The logo is what people will recognize among others. It should be simple and clear and reflect the values and atmosphere of your community. For example, For a community that produces cheese products, you can create a logo that depicts a cow or milk symbol, perhaps complemented by elements that indicate a mountainous landscape. This will immediately remind consumers of the naturalness of the products and their connection to nature. Photos, the emotional part of the brand. They play an equally important role, and they can convey the emotions and atmosphere of your community. These can be photos of your products and also moments from the life of your community. For example, shepherds in the meadows cooking traditional dishes, harvesting or collecting milk. Packaging design is an important element of the brand. It is a way to protect your product and an important tool that should help attract attention. And the packaging design should be simple but memorable. For example, you can use local symbols such as mountain landscapes, plants, or animals characteristic of your community. Environmentally friendly. In today's world, people are increasingly paying attention to whether packaging is environmentally friendly. Using recycled materials or reusable packaging increases the value of your brand. Informative. The packaging should contain all the necessary information, including ingredients, production methods, and other details that emphasize the naturalness and tradition of your product. Visual elements that highlight the culture of the community. Your brand should reflect the culture and traditions of the community. This is very important because today's consumers are looking for more than just products, but also the stories behind them. Here are some ideas for visual elements that can highlight your culture. Traditional ornaments and patterns. For example, the ornament can be an image that symbolizes shepherds, nature, or religious symbols. Local materials. These can be, for example, wood, vines, or embroidery. Colors. They should be chosen in a way that emphasizes the connection to nature, sustainability, traditions, and the naturalness of your products. And symbols. Both the logo and other visual elements can contain symbols that indicate your location. It can be mountains, meadows, grass, or even traditional village buildings. What else is important for a visual identity? Another important aspect is the style of communication. Your visual identity should be supported by a single style in all communications, from packaging to promotion materials. This creates a sense of coherence and professionalism for your brand. Don't forget about social networks and other platforms. All these elements of your visual identity, from colors to photos, should be adapted to attract maximum attention in the digital space. And here in this slide, you see a logo of the Association of Cheese Producers, Traditional Cheese of Host Region. And you can easily guess the symbols. Just you see shapes of sheep, you see the colors, and they reflect the local area. And you see, you can guess that there are mountains and valleys, and the colors you see like brown, like brownish, darker, and lighter. So now we'll talk about forming the brand of pastoral communities. And we'll cover the following points. Strategies for long-term brand development. And we'll be discussing what is strategy in the understanding of brand development, why is strategy important, how we can organize our work with partners and tourists, and we'll cover an issue about expanding markets. So let's continue. So let's talk about strategies for long-term brand development of products and services of pastoral communities. This aspect is crucial for your products and services to not only survive, but also grow gain popularity, and bring stable income. However, in order for this to become a reality, you need to work carefully on the brand strategy, namely on its long-term development plan. What is strategy in the understanding of brand development? A brand strategy is a comprehensive action plan that provides a clear understanding of how we will move forward, with what steps and resources we will achieve the desired results. It aims not only to increase brand awareness, but also to attract new customers, strengthen trust in products or services, and create a stable foundation for the development. Why is it important? It is not a coincidence or instant success. Strategy is a long-term process that allows your community to become a sustainable and competitive player in the market. So, a brand strategy is a development plan that allows each of you working on your product or service to have a clear understanding of the direction in which you need to move and the actions that need to be taken to achieve your goals. So, why is a strategy important? Because it helps increase competitiveness, it helps to develop brand, and it is important for long-term stability and working with partners. How are they and how to work with them? Your partners are an integral part of your strategy. There are no lone players in the business world. So partnerships are one of the main elements that ensure the development and sustainability of a brand. It's important to know who to work with, how, and with which partners you can establish mutually beneficial relationships. Who are these partners? So they can be tour operators and travel agencies, tour guides, hotel, restaurants, and cafes, media, and advertising agencies. So let's have a look how we can work with tourists and how to organize events. Tourism and interaction with tourists is an important part of brand development. They can become not only buyers of our products, but also permanent ambassadors of your community, telling their friends and acquaintances about it. Here are some ways to interact with tourists. So we can organize excursions and tours. We can also organize tastings and workshops. Involving tourists in workshops allows them to directly participate in production, which adds another positive emotion to their experience. Fairs and celebrations, and we can organize craft and cultural festivals, because holding festivals highlighting your culture, traditions, and products brings a lot to your community, and this will not only attract new tourists, but also maintain interest in your products. And then expanding markets. How does this relate to your strategy? So we consider online sales, expanding through exhibitions and fairs, and tourism sales channels. Only through planning, high-quality implementation, and constant adaptation to changes in the external environment will you be able to achieve success on this path. And here you see a photo of children lying in a local house in the meadows, and these children are observing, they are looking at animals. You see a little goats, kid goats, yeah, and they are laughing, they are happy. And you can be sure that these children will bring these memories throughout their lives. And when they grow, so they will come back to this place. maybe with their children, we never know what might happen. And we are moving further, almost. Yeah. So you see examples of traditional cheese made from sheep milk. To the left, you see Hutzul cheap brinza, and it's an example of packaging. Traditional dish, corn porridge with sheep cheese. And to the right, you see a traditional towel, and on the table, you see a traditional towel embroidered in the Hutzul style. And to the right, you see a container, a big container with homemade brinza. These are elements of culture and identity. Okay, these are local dishes. What is the dish? Banosh. To the left, you see banosh. It is made of corn flour and pork rinds and, of course, sheep cheese. And to the right, okay, riplanka in Ukrainian, and it's corn potatoes, something like that. Okay. And here you can see an example how augmented reality is used in one of the locations in museum in Rahiv. It is written here at the bottom. At the bottom of the page, you can see here location, Hutzul Brinza Museum in Rahiv. So through augmented reality, people can be introduced to the life of shepherds and the traditions of cheese production all year round. So, and producers of products should consider cleanliness and hygiene, and they should guarantee it in such a way they strengthen trust in the manufacturer and brand. And tourists who are sure about hygiene, about cleanliness in the field will come back again. So they will be sure that everything is okay with their health and their stomachs. Okay. So, and of course, everybody expects wow effect, and it's a great tool for influencing behavior. So we see buffaloes, and we see a flock of sheep to the right, So if you give them what they want, so you will be able to sell your product. So you should get a personalized product, We study what their interests are, preferences, needs, state of mind, income, and experience. In such a way, we increase the value of time and impressions. Then you should become the main character, either your blog or your story. So we should give them a solution or a scenario, for example, short trips, 20, 30 times a year over relatively short distances. No further than, for example, 300, 500 kilometers. And homogeneous groups, like people go to people, and show the route through eyes of locals, like guides, photographers, writers, artists, and musicians. And people, of course, buy new experiences. They buy emotions. Next slide. Does it work? Okay. You should show where you are. You should locate it on the map. And you can provide the information, necessary information about security, about culture, about hospitality, what logistics and accessibility. You can just put a mark, I'm here. And according to the latest survey, it was found out that 80% of the tourist flow is made of people living within a radius of 300, 500 kilometers, and you should take this into account. So what can make you famous and popular? First of all, let's talk about photos. You see two photos, and these photos represent typical clothes of the Carpathian Mountains. In Ukrainian, they are called hunya. It's used in singular. and they are made of sheep wool. And you see two photos. One photo is an old one, and the photo at the bottom is taken in modern times. It is made in Kiev. So again, let's have a look at our points here. Point number one is about photo zone, photo shoot, and check-in sport. You can create memorable spot for photos. You can reconstruct a scene from a movie, a frame that transports you to reality. We can think about souvenirs from the region, a unique keepsake from the place. We can provide some recommendations for our visitors, tips from those who have already visited. And we can follow seasonal trends through media, social media publications, and active leisure. So in such a way, we can involve our tourists, in different activities like cycling, marathons, and other activities. What can make you famous and popular? Development of local brands, territory, architecture, culture, gastronomy, crafts, and heritage, reasons to visit the city or the village, roots, seasonality, uniqueness, interest in history, facts from the past, and historical figures, writers, researchers, artists, and musicians, excursion programs, engaging tours to explore the destination gems, and tasty programs. They are part of agro-tourism. And here you see photos, in the upper photo, they are so-called sheep races, you see, and there were quite a lot of people because it happened before pandemic period. And you see that the spectators cheer the winner, And the second picture demonstrates beautiful landscapes of the Carpathian Mountains. So, how to form and promote your brand? You see the examples how your produce can be presented. So you should prepare for success. You should collaborate with tour operators. You should highlight the region's uniqueness, organize events, engage with bloggers and influencers. You should create peer campaigns, develop a starry sky theme park, for example, create a unique experience for visitors. You can offer a tasting menu, highlighting local products and create a culinary experience. You can even have a list of dishes based on local products and incorporate a hot air balloon experience. And this is done in different countries. And we have come to our conclusions. So, traditions, we have covered the following points. Traditions at the basis for creating a brand, marketing as a tool for preserving and popularizing traditions, the key role of marketing in developing a community brand, and the importance of integrating traditions into a modern context. And again, at the bottom of the slide, you see local products representing our region. So the first slide is a set of cheese, sausage, and jam in jars. The second picture shows a sheep. It is made of butter, and we have such a tradition for Easter, I guess. And the third picture represents cutting cheese made according to the Swiss technology. What is it, Narcissus? Yeah, it is called Narcissus. One of our cheesemakers went to Switzerland, and they brought their experience from their trip, and now they have been producing 4 types of cheeses based on Swiss technologies. So, the last one, lecture conclusions. So, as you know, Simply having a great product is not enough to become successful. It is important that people learn about your product or service, become interested, and want to support your brand. Marketing allows you to create a connection between cultural practices and market needs. This is a way to make your community recognizable and its traditions become a business card in the market. So we can say that traditions of pastoral communities have enormous potential for forming a successful brand. However, for this, it is important to approach their marketing promotion correctly, because it is the marketing that allows you to preserve cultural practices and at the same time turn them into competitive advantages. Don't be afraid to use marketing tools to popularize your culture and tradition. You can show them to the world not only through the creation of products, but also through stories, events, excursions, workshops, and much more. And this will not only attract new customers, but also help spread the uniqueness of your community. So I would like to thank you for your participation in the lecture. I hope that today's reflections and advice will be useful to you, and you will be able to apply them in practice to develop your brands and support the cultural practices of your communities. I wish you success in the implementation of your ideas and projects. And now, after we have covered this huge piece of information, and believe me, it's just a little piece of information. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask Oleksandr, or even you can type them in a chat box, and he is going to answer them if you have questions. So if you'd like, you can write questions, or if you have a few comments, you're welcome. How does Rangeland Governance support pastoral development? Yeah, we have a few. Okay. So we have a question in our chat box. How does the Ukrainian government support pastoral development and marketing of pastoral products for producers, policies and institutions? Yeah.
Ну, існує програма надання дотацій для корів, овець і кіз.
So we have a program which supports funding for those who would like to have cows, sheep and goats. It's a governmental program.
Плюс є програма підтримки підприємництва ФАО, зокрема, на розвиток власної справи для переробки продукції.
And we have a support on behalf of the organization FAO to support the processing of herbs, the processing of products,
Але головна задача наша в регіоні – це навчити їх продавати продукцію, щоб вони заробили гроші, і це буде найкраща підтримка.
Okay. And our task in the region is to teach them how they can sell their products, so they can get profit, and this is the most important task here, and it's crucial and essential. Oh, thank you for the comments about, I'm impressed by the use of modern technology, social media for marketing. Thank you for the comment here. Yeah. So, presentation with a professional. Thank you for your feedbacks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have you got any questions? Just look at the questions from. Yes.
First of all, I would like to thank you very much. I
Thank
have
you very much.
admiration from you, and I thank you all my greetings from Albania. We are two persons here, and is also Philip, who is working with us, and he's living in Balkany. And I have so much more admiration that your country is actually in war. It's very good what you are doing. I have lived in Kosovo when was war. I am living now in Albania. But we are trying to setting together a networking in saying that in the labelization of a product must be also all the culture that can be found another ecotourism. I would like first to tell you that what you are saying is a very important message for all the world, so far more that you are living tragical situation just now. But secondly, I would like to ask you, because we have a big link with Ukraine. I think you know, in some villages, there are very old Albanian communities and they are all shepherds. Just now, I'm working with the shepherds in Albania and they have links and they are trying to have links because they know that their own cousins are for many centuries in Ukraine. And do you have also a connection with them? And secondly, surely you saw my message. We are together with Petrit, we are making workshops regularly, putting together shepherd communities, civil society, people from the government, and researcher. And your testimony that all this can be possible and another way of ecotourism can be found is very important to us. And I would like, and we are doing that in the framework of the International Year, and I would like to invite you one day to organize something together. So far more that Albania have connections with Ukraine. And a lot of things we see are the same, are things which are the same tradition. Is normal. We were old nomads going very far together. I know the word Shaban was up to Kyrgyzia, to Kazakhstan, is also to you, is also to us.
So thank you for answering and commenting. Yeah, so it would be really great to keep in touch. Yeah, to stay in touch. Yeah.
The shepherds from the Albanian Alps are asking to be in touch.
Okay. I see it.
You have a question in the chat box in the last question.
Yes, we have a question. The final one.
Yes.
What is the extent of your organization working areas in countries? Yeah. So the Carpathia region. Wait a second. Are you asking about Oleksandr's experience? If you're asking about his experience, it is the Carpathia region, and this region borders on Slovakia and Hungary. It's a bordering region. It's near the borders with the European Union.
I cannot answer you in which regions are the Albanian people, because I don't have the information. I know we also other shepherds were going in the old days up to Romania, to Bulgaria, and we have deep links with all the Carpathians. Maybe Petrit knows more. Where are the Albanian shepherds in Ukraine? But I can find it out. And I can ask in Albania. Even I know we are talking a very old kind of Albanian language. I have a colleague who is, as a linguist, who is working, going regularly to Ukraine. And I can ask when I will be in Albania. But what I just want to say, Petrit and myself, we are together in the Albanian Rural Network and trying to federalize all the civil society working with all these issues.
Okay, Martin, we will continue this discussion. Yeah. Let them reflect. They are the guest here, and they have to answer the other questions coming from them. Okay. So please, Oleksandr, please take on these questions in the chat box. Next one is from Cynthia.
Where is it, Cynthia? The last one.
You just see in the chat box.
Yes.
It's a long write-up.
Yeah, we see it. Landscape, Cynthia. Okay. Do you see this? Do you see Cynthia? We see the question about the scope of work.
No. Cynthia, please, can you speak out here on the camera?
How does the Ukrainian government? I see the question here.
No.
No.
Cynthia, you are here.
Yes,
Cynthia.
hello. Oops.
Please speak. Please speak.
I will. Hello. I'm sorry, I'm being kicked out of my space, but I really wanted to thank you for your presentation. It's very insightful. Maybe I'm a bit of a devil's advocate, or coming from a designer point of view. I work as a designer with natural materials. And my question is, I'm not always entirely convinced that the traditional should be stressed so much. You may also pin or even trap a shepherd and their products in the past in a nostalgic space. For example, in the Netherlands, we have a lot of collaborations between designers and shepherds, using their wool to make very modern, unexpected, contemporary products that will attract, and crucially, very young audiences. And especially if you're on Instagram. So I'm and using influencers. So yeah, I'm so curious what you think about that comment. And maybe you've experienced this as well. And also the using of even greenwashing ideas, like using the color green and brown for land, is what brands are using too. So
Що ти думаєш про це? Використання?
По-перше, традиційний колір, наприклад, про гуцулів, він червоний є яскравий, це їхня енергія.
So if we talk about Hutzul culture, their traditional color is red.
Тому що вони живуть.
It is bright.
Because багато часу вони проводять в зимі, в холоді, в снігу.
Because they spend a lot of time in winter in cold conditions, you know, and they need to have something bright. That's why.
Sure. I'm just warning you that there's some things happening here about, unfortunately, brands using all these wonderful natural colors as green, and it creates a greenwashing problem. Just that's some advice to you, that we have to be aware of what big brands are doing to take that power away from even some of the colors you are suggesting.
Але я би ще додав, що ці фермери дрібні настільки, що вони не застосовують послуги, знову ж таки, дизайнерів, так?
So these local farmers are so little in scope, you know, they are not big, so they don't address professional designers. They even don't know how to do it. They do it how they know, how they feel it.
Але мережування, коли вони працюють разом, то якраз можливість є розвиватися і дізнаватися кращі практики.
And if we talk about networking, it's a great opportunity for them to work together, to cooperate, to learn how it should be done properly. You know, they can learn from each other how to improve it.
Absolutely, I totally agree. But if you're talking about partnerships, just from my experience, if you get partnerships going with designers, let's say, you can, it doesn't mean that the shepherds have to change so much, but they're supplying their beautiful ingredients, and then the designers make, you know, some touches to them so that they can go to a bigger audience. So collaborations have worked with small shepherds as well.
Sorry, Хасрат, ще маю коментар, що дуже важливо попробувати їжу на смак. Коли споживач пробує, він закохується, і тоді він розуміє, що він купує.
And I have one comment that a visitor should taste the food, because when they try it, they start loving it, you know, this food. It's about the taste and the smell of the food, and it's really important.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I intervene just a minute?
Yes, sure, Hasrat. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Cynthia, I guess your experience is typical. Like there is a few number of shepherds in Netherlands and large number of designers in your country. So it may be like the design is dominant over the shepherds. So the scenario in Carpathians is completely reverse. In my understanding, as I know, I have traveled these Carpathian mountains and have also worked to an extent. As I understand that the shepherds in Carpathians have been there in their traditions and occupations for millennia, and this design phenomena is just recent. I guess they have their own designs, traditional ones, and that has already been documented a lot, and they have been receiving geographical indication for that, and lot many different professionals have been interacting with the shepherds and their cultural things, cultural expressions. I guess they have been not only learning but also been selling out the shepherd's culture and traditions. So I think as long as we take this subject as assisting the pastoralist people or the shepherds to promote their products and at the same time receive some incomes, attract some incomes, so there is no problem. But when the question like you are raising, that a designer is trying to impose something on the shepherds, so I think this is a completely different scenario. So this can happen anywhere, no doubt, but we really have to examine this phenomena in a specific context. It cannot be really generalized everywhere in every context. So if this is happening in either land, we cannot say that this will happen in Carpathians and this will hamper the progress of like marketing and promotion of the culture and traditions of the shepherds. So I think the subject today is how to improve the livelihood of the shepherds. They have already been suffering, especially in the Carpathian zone. Like many people are giving up this profession, and this tradition is eroding very fast. Of course, reason is no very little support is coming to these people, and after the war, like a lot of damage has already been taking place. Yes. So okay. So we close this topic. Then I let me continue to comment on your lecture. Basically, personally, I liked your first part. First part means if we make two part of your entire lecture, then your first part is just very beautiful poetic expression of the culture and traditions of the shepherds, and you have proposed to link it with the tourism and other marketing promotions. But for me the unique thing is your uniqueness. Like the subject you have picked up is uniqueness, to sell, I mean to sell out or promote the uniqueness. So this is really unique, number one. Number two, the way you have presented, like it was very literary. this is a compliment. It was very literary. This was very poetic. And I think, I assume that you would have been doing it for long, or if you have done it first time, then it is a really, really a commendable work. The way you have presented, and the way you not only presented here, but like it can be a project, like it can be a complete strategy to popularize or to market these culture and traditions in a very, very poetic way. So I think it's really very, very impressive. Thank you so much for your today's lecture.
Thank you.
Okay, so other questions you can attend, or somebody wants to speak on camera, please come forward.
Дякуємо теж всім за те, що вони приєдналися на цю лекцію.
So I would like to express our gratitude, and we are a zillion of thanks for those who have come, who have joined us today. So it's a pleasure to meet all of you and to have these comments. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you to everyone.
Okay. Anyone wants to give a compliment to them?
We have had a lot of compliments in our chat, in the chat box.
Please speak on camera. Quick, fast, 5 minutes.
I'm here. Hello, guys. This is Munene. Sorry about the lighting. Let me go under the trees. Probably you might be able to see me. Yes, this is Munene from Kilifi in Kenya. I just want to say your presentation was very insightful because for the pastoralist communities in Kenya, they do engage with a lot of tourists every day of their lives, and they sell different products, including trinkets and necklaces and such. But this has opened my eyes to other diverse range of products that pastoralists can engage in Kenya, including now experiencing pastoralism. So if tourists can also go and live in yurts in Mongolia or manyatas in Kenya, or any other type of even housing that the communities can design and welcome the visitors. It's a great opportunity for income for pastoralists too. So thank you for opening our eyes to this and new ways of marketing our different products from pastoralist communities. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anyone else? This is the last chance. We have 1 minute.
Yes, thank you very much. I believe that I will take the last chance. And I am Ferdinand Isma from Haiti. And I believe that sometimes when we talk to Ukrainians, we say we have very good things in common in terms of challenges. But I like the way you approach pastoralism in the market system approach. And I believe this is eye-opening, as my predecessor said. And, this is very good resources. I hope that we will not only have the video online, but we will also have the PowerPoint shared so that we can apply most of your advices. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your feedback. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Koval family. So it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Just speechless. Okay, it's fantastic. Just one point, because Cynthia again wrote some comment about the designer's perspective. I think that is one partner, but of course, one partner is important. Every partner is important, but there are many other partners and many other dimensions to this subject. So I again do not contest what you are saying, Cynthia, but there are the different experience in different countries. I believe in Ukraine designers are also sensitized to the shepherds cultures. The designers cannot come from vacuum or from some ultra modern things. So here they are first uh, indigenized to understand the culture, and it is not the case that designs are absent in Ukraine. There are lot designs are existing already, and they are well established and well coordinated with the shepherds particularly. So this is there. So I do not understand there is a problem, but I guess that can be understood or studied in context of Ukraine, how the designers and shepherds are coexisting and co-opting with each other. So thank you so much. I guess there are so many areas to discuss about, but this marketing subject, I guess, was very impressive, and the way you have presented it. So thank you. We will work together. Of course, we are working together already. I have just one offer, that we publish one journal, although we publish 5 journals, 5 different journals. So one journal is Pasture and Pastoralism. So we will publish the next issue in the month of March, and I will invite your this particular article which you have presented just now. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you for the offer, Hasrat. Thank you.